Contracts, specifically renegotiating contracts 101. Here's a great thing about contracts. They are usually between two parties, sometimes multiple parties, but they can be reworked. And a lot of times they do need to be reworked. The business world changes, the commercial terms changes, circumstances change unexpectedly, party can't perform their obligations under a contract. There can be really literally 100 different reasons why a contract needs to be performed. And all of that is great. You can sit down and rewrite a contract. You have to look at your amendment provision. In a two-party contract, generally the consent of both parties will get it amended. In a multi-party contract, it might get a little more complicated depending on those provisions, but you can take a look at it. You can sit down and renegotiate. Basically, all you need to do is come up with a new agreement and say we're going to change the old agreement. One little trick here, though, is depending on your applicable state law, contract law principles, generally both people need to get something out of the amendment. A one-sided amendment may or may not be enforceable, depending on the specific circumstances. So be careful with that. But in general, both sides are getting something, a delay, a change in payments, other terms. So as long as both sides are getting some kind of arguable benefit, you probably have an enforceable contract. Of course, you want to check that with an attorney in your jurisdiction, make sure everything works under your applicable state law. But it's free to renegotiate. In fact, longer term, bigger, more complex contracts probably do need to be renegotiated. Of course, everybody's going to sign and agree what they anticipate at the beginning, and that's what you do in contracts, and it makes perfect sense. But what's going to happen is real life is going to step in. Deadlines are going to get moved. People are going to have issues with certain terms, those certain deliverables. The contract amount may need to change, et cetera, et cetera. All of that can be renegotiated. Good relationship allows that to happen. And you should potentially be thinking about renegotiation when you enter into your contracts. Do you have general comments or questions? Go ahead and drop them below. Suggestions for future videos, things you'd like more detail on. But don't put stuff that's specific to you or your company because it's not confidential. And we can't have that type of attorney-client relationship over the internet through these videos. That's something you do in person with an attorney of your choosing. Sit down, talk about your circumstances, get that attorney-client confidentiality, and get some real answers. But if you have general questions, things you'd like discussed for general education, may cover them in future videos. So love to see those comments. And I hope you subscribe to the channel and join me for future videos soon. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Go check out our library of past videos, and I hope to see you in the comments.